show.
I know. I got so many listeners, man. I'm like blowing it up right now.
7.
Play it, man. Yeah, we're going to kick this thing off in a minute, guys and gals. Hang tight. Like I mentioned earlier, the storms were kicking the butt here. So we had to reboot a few things. We'll be right with you. It's going to be a great show. It's worth waiting for. Well worth waiting for. So just sit tight. Transition. Video feed over. What's up, good people? Angry American Highway Jack. That's right. You see my man sitting next to me, Tim Tenney, one of my instructors from Striker Firearms Training.
What's going on?
All right, let's get this thing going here. And I got the YouTube thing playing. See, we had to do a little reboot. Got to fix that puppy. Here. All right, now we got that stopped, not started, stopped. All right. Can you hear me now? Highway Jack, we're going to try this one more again. I don't know if you guys heard the first intro. I got Tim Tenney sitting next to me. Speak up, Tim. Let me see if I can hear you over there.
What's going on?
All right. He is a little bit hotter than I am. I guess he's got more energy. I've been running crazy. Anyway, we got a great show for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. You guys can check it out. We got the Facebook live feed going. We got the YouTube going. We got the www going. We got the Tap That app going. So it's going to be a great show. And I think I said that once. I'm going to say it again. But guess what? My Facebook folks, every second matters. YouTube, guys, you can see it today wearing the shirt. Every second matters. What does that mean? That means the second of the month, although I don't normally promote it, the second of the month we go out and promote open carry. Why do we do that? Because we want to get some interaction going on with the general public out there. Let them guys know that, hey, carrying a gun is a good thing. So if you haven't heard of Every Second Matters, do me a favor and check it out. There's a Facebook and a YouTube channel that you can go on. The YouTube channel basically just tells you pretty much what the organization is about. There's T-shirts like the one I'm wearing now and patches that you can get, Velcro patches you can put on your stuff. So definitely well worth checking out. And we still have our background music playing, which should not be playing. 2-1. All right, we're still having technical difficulties. Why are we playing that? Bear with me, boys and girls. Not quite understanding why in the crap we still have that playing. Again, technical difficulties. Hang tight. Don't go nowhere. All right, checking the app again. I know YouTube can hear us. Survey says that the app cannot hear us. What the dealio? Fix to scream out for DJ Scotty to get down here and see what's going on. Music should not be playing. Motivate this thing a little bit without throwing it against the wall. This. Try this again. I'm going to check. And that's not playing right. All right, we're going to stop. We're having one of those. Have you ever had one of those days? Call in the backup. Mic on. No feed going out. Here he comes. He's going to save the day. What is the dealio, man? Mother Nature must have kicked my butt here. Well, I got the YouTube going. Where'd the app go? The app was playing just your music. Check 2. Let's see if we're there now. 30 seconds behind. So we're loaded for bear. That deck's gonna play. You're fixing to hear yourself talking. Did you say 30 seconds? All right, I think he said 30 seconds.
He's not the DJ in this house.
That is true. He has taken me to school, boys and girls, and he's loving every minute of it. Hey, I was not that brutal to you, man. I was not that brutal. Damn it, man.
Look, if we was at a club, you didn't have me. You'd be spanking me right now.
No, brother. Just because you couldn't mix no more than a bowl of grits when you started DJing, it's all good in the hood. It's all good. All right, so you guys didn't hear my little spill a minute ago, apparently. So I'm going to do it again. That's what she said. Again, Highway Jack sitting here behind the wheels, obviously lost as a fart in a whirlwind right now.
Hey, always make sure
that red light, it's not red. Speaking of green, yellow, and red, well, not yellow so much, green, red, and white, Christmas is 17 weeks away. Did you know that? And you got kids to buy for, son, so you need to sell some airtime. Oh, all right. Oh, Angry American Show. Again, Highway Jack with you, man. We're getting, I don't know what YouTube saw, man. They probably heard way more than they should have. I probably should have muted the crap out of that. But I'm going to set up. I had to stop the video feed on the live feed. I got my man from Striker Firearms Training, firearms instructor Tim Tenney, sitting here in a chair next to me. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Tim.
What's going on? What's going on?
Oh, tell us what kind of firearms experience you got. How long you been shooting, running and gunning? Make sure you talk right into the mic, and let me see if you're going to blow it away there.
Yeah, probably blow it away. I don't know. It sounds like it needs to come up. So.
Nope, you're doing good. You're doing good.
Okay. Well, you're a lot louder in the headphones than I am. All my life, pretty much, been in and around firearms all my life. So we're pushing some gun classes. Hopefully, have some more coming up in the fall. Waiting on this weather.
Yeah, like it's hot outside.
It's hot. And we're waiting. That's exactly what we're waiting on. Waiting on some cooler weather, because when we get running and gunning, I don't want it to be 90 degrees.
Hell, 90's not too bad, but man, this 95, 98 crap we've been having. Holy cow.
What's the difference?
All right, I'm going to set this back up. Oh, still connecting. Guys, I don't know if you guys, what you heard, I'm afraid to even know when I look back at this and what kind of train wreck was going on. But we've had some internet connection feed problems. Hang tight. All right. We are Facebook Live crooked. Oh, crooked. That kind of reminds me of Hillary Clinton.
I was going to say, crooked Hillary.
All right. I said I wasn't going to kick this show off with politics. And here's what we're going to do, guys and girls. We're going to talk guns, first and foremost. We're going to talk a little bit of music stuff. We're definitely going to talk politics. And at the end of the show, if you guys saw it on Facebook, we have Dr. Love is going to come out for all you guys. This is Scotty's mic stand. It's limp. And we're going to talk about some sexual stuff, man and woman kind of thing. Okay. I've said this once, and I don't know if you guys heard it, so I'm going to go ahead and say it again. Today is the 2nd of the month. You notice my shirt on YouTube, and if you heard this already, hang in there. You might hear it again. Facebook Live, folks, you're just now seeing again. Every second matters. What that is it's an organization. This is a nationwide campaign. So you're getting out there with folks that are going across the entire United States of America. And primarily on the East Coast, central to East Coast, but we do have some West Coast people out there. You know how tough it is out there. But what you're doing is going out and open carrying. Now, I don't normally advocate open carry because I don't want you to be out there and letting your firearm be seen so that you're the first target in the room, or if the person that wants a gun doesn't have one, again, you're still the target, and he comes and takes yours away from you. And that's something that we teach you about situational awareness and being cognizant of your surroundings when we teach a firearms class. And when I say we, if you haven't figured it out and don't remember, yes, I am one of the firearms instructors there with Striker Firearms Training. And we teach you that kind of stuff. And we teach you that complacency kills. And that's probably the most reiterated thing that I talk about is the fact that complacency does get you killed, whether it's in your home. You know, there's been more people shot, wouldn't you say, by an empty gun than any other gun in the world?
Absolutely.
And I mean, people cleaning their guns, they thought they were empty. And we talk about that. And we're not going to, this is not training per se, but we just want to talk about it and let you go out and just start a conversation. And if you don't have a shirt yet, go on the page, buy you one. Got to bear with me. My Monster Energy drink is kicking in. And if you guys think I drank a lot of Monster drinks, look at the morning show, Military Mike. I mean, the dude was slamming. He had like 3 or 4 lined up. I mean, I thought I don't know, he might have something else in there besides Monsters. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if it was kicking in or coming up. He looked like it was coming up.
It was kind of coming up. You're out of line.
Okay. Wait, on your show, I'm out of line.
Yeah,
that's hard.
It's hard. It is. It's hard to get out of line. But again, we go out and carry openly. But do go on the website on Facebook. You can buy the shirt that I'm wearing. I've got a hat sitting in front of me on that you can see on YouTube. I think it's a 3x3 Velcro patch. But it's just go out. Don't be stupid about it. Go out and instigate good conversation, or I shouldn't say instigate, initiate good conversation with people and let them know that, hey, it's okay to carry. I mean, today I was at Walgreens. That's right, Walgreens. And you can guess what section, the pharmacy section. My old ass had to go get my monthly medications. I asked them for blue pills.
I was going to say they weren't blue, were they?
They wouldn't give me any blue pills. And we're going to talk about that toward the end of the show. So we'll save the blue pill conversation for the last 20 minutes. But
I was going to mention too. You mentioned people getting killed with unloaded weapons. Lost a 22-year-old about 2 weeks ago. Friend of ours that we know that his brother thought the gun was unloaded, shot him in the chest, killed him.
So one brother shot another brother.
Yes.
You know, that's an ironic kind of thing. That happened in East Point back when I was about probably 11 or 12. And any of my East Point listeners out there, they're familiar with this. Family by the last name of Stacks. Chris Stacks and his brother were well known. And again, they thought it was unloaded, dad's shotgun. And one of the brothers, and I can't remember. Oh, Chris was the one outside running, and I don't remember the brother that shot him. But, and I've kind of told you the end of the story already. But they were running through the house, and Chris come in the back door, and, the brother went bang. But the problem was the bang was real, and it was a shotgun. They rushed Chris to the hospital, if I remember correctly. Now, keep in mind, I'm a few decades old now. But needless to say, unfortunately, he did not make it. But again, that was an unloaded gun that killed and I think Chris was about probably 12 or 13 years old then.
Yep.
So, unloaded guns do get a lot of folks killed. And that's a little unfortunate that happens. And you need to be, again, that goes back to what I said about complacency. You need to pay attention to what's going on, and you need to know what firearms in your house are loaded and what are unloaded. And, I can't stress that enough. But the whole deal with Every Second Matters is to get you guys to go out and get good conversations going. And I could log into Scotty's Facebook and just hack that.
That could be fun.
Yeah. Of course, I'm sure it's never been done by any of the morning crew.
Never.
But, that's kind of where we're at there. Trying to remember what my login is.
Yeah, you're talking about complacency with guns. That's something that the gun owner that starts out by, I don't need any training. I've shot guns all my life. Well, I have too, but I train all the time.
I was fixing to say, wasn't that the first thing you said?
Oh, well, the difference is I train all the time. They don't. And they get very complacent, and there you go. That's when you have disasters happen. And
people that, let me tell you something, guys and gals. If you're out there shooting, okay, the main thing, you're shooting paper targets. If you're standing at a gun range, indoor range, for example, and shooting paper targets, you are wasting ammo and you are wasting your time because that is not where you need to be. Now, I'm not telling you not to go and train and get proficient with aiming a gun, but actually using one out in, a more of a real world scenario that we train in, because we do our classes outdoors. That really changes the game, and it really puts some real world sense in there to you. So I wish that Georgia would make it mandatory that you had to have a safety class. Tennessee, for example, they require that you take a safety class and you have to shoot. You have to qualify for it.
Oh yeah.
So, and that to me, that should be a necessity.
Well, I mean, why? Okay. In the state of Georgia, you go out, you apply for a concealed carry permit, you get that, you go out and purchase a firearm, and you're legal to carry that firearm. Never have shot a firearm in your life.
And how many of those people you think that get those permits understand the responsibility that they just put on their hip?
Very few.
I'd say very few to none, probably.
The ones that have never shot, probably none.
And that's the thing you got to understand about firearms, guys, is regardless of how many rounds you have in the chamber, every single one of those rounds has got a lawsuit attached to it. And the worst thing that you can do, and I think Mike and I talked about this last week, is taking someone's life will change your life forever. Because regardless of what happens, you got to remember what kind of world we're in today, a lawsuit happy world. And as sad as that is, that's the truth of the nature. And there have been people that have lost their kids' college funds over trying to save their life, not to go to jail over defending themselves. So get some training, and we would love for you to be with us, but even if it's not, excuse me, you need to get some training. So with that being said, if anybody has any questions, feel free to post them up on the Angry American page, is what I've got pulled up now. And of course, we've got the YouTube live. The Facebook live and the YouTube channel is up. Now, how much of that I can actually get answered at one time? Probably not a lot, but we'll try. So here's something that I told you we're going to bounce around, and today, and Tim and I talked about this, we are going to digress from subjects probably quite a lot because his memory really sucks.
I'm following in your footsteps. Hey, give me just a minute before my phone just explodes over here. I have two sons that are listening.
Okay.
And gosh forbid I don't mention that that they're blowing my phone up over here.
Go ahead, shout at them. You're on the radio.
You can go ahead and shout at them, Christian and Aiden. So that's all I've heard since I sat down at this microphone.
And you know what's cool about them? I think I taught those guys how to shoot.
You did. You taught both of them.
And your daughter.
and my daughter.
Yeah, she finally started standing like a woman that had some control with her. Actually, she was women are typically pretty doggone good. And I mean, when I say women, I mean females in general.
And that's hard to do when you're an instructor, to say that another instructor had to teach your family.
Well, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. You were not their instructor. You were their dad. That's where the hiccup is.
That's it.
Daddy, they don't want to listen. That's like, I can try to tell my significant other or any man out there, whether it's your wife, your girlfriend, or your partner. Okay, we'll just be open-minded. And
politically correct.
I am definitely not politically correct. I was being extremely sarcastic about that. But you can try to tell them whatever, and they won't listen no matter how many years experience you have. But they'll go to frickin' Kroger, and some pimple-faced 16-year-old kid or whatever's working there will give them advice, and they'll come home and say, you know what they told me at the store today? I'm like, really?
Yep.
Shut up. Well, go get in your room.
I'll go ahead and let you brag a little more. Who taught my wife? Who found the problem?
Well,
with my wife?
It's not a matter of bragging. It's a matter of being outside your bubble. And I didn't have to worry about repercussions from your wife. I mean, if you get onto her about shooting bad, she might tell you might not get a chance to shoot at home at all.
That's,
so
that could be true.
you might get cut off. In other words, your target zone might come up MIA, or closed for business, we'll say.
That could be true.
But, okay. I want to digress from guns for a minute, and let me double check something. Okay, everybody's joining in, so I appreciate you guys. I got the, as you can see on Facebook live feed, you're a little bit too far away for me to punch the thing and scroll and read questions. So
I can do it.
Here's what we're going to do. All right, if you get any questions, and you can shout out to whoever's there. But, all right, this is a personal service announcement for you guys, and this is serious business. I had years ago, my daughters, twins, both of them were on PayPal, and they were doing great. They had a little business going, buying and selling stuff on eBay. They got hacked, and to them, it was like one of them was $400 and one of them was $600 or $700. They were able to get their money back. Thankfully, the bank took care of that really quick. But last night, the beautiful Miss Debbie got hacked on PayPal, and it was a lot more than a few $100s. So for those creepy bastards out, okay, you guys know what word I was using there. I try not to cuss on the radio or on my live feeds. But, man, if I could get my hands around your throat, breathing for you might be a problem, because we're hardworking Americans, and we work hard for our money. And these guys get on the internet, and they get in there, and they hack your accounts, whether it's PayPal, which is typically what it is. I say typically. That's been my experience with people that I know. So this is just a public service for you guys to go in, change your passwords on your bank accounts and PayPal accounts. Okay, just a word of advice for you, because she had to go through all kind of headache today with the bank and pay money to get her money back. So that is pretty crappy. And like I said, those people being used for target practice, if that were to happen accidentally by somebody, I just would really feel bad for them not. So, Tim, do you like Florida Georgia Line? Are you a fan of the band?
Not particularly.
Okay, I'm not either. Now my daughter's a huge fan of theirs. I've never been a big fan of theirs, and they got one song that's kind of okay. And if I piss any of you, FGL fans off out there, too freaking bad. My uncle can't stand. He couldn't stand them the word "go." He said they weren't country, and I'll have to go with that.
No, there's a bunch of them that aren't country.
Well, there's a parody video out there that's actually pretty cool. A comedian did about country stars of today. But anyway, what's kind of funny is they got their butts handed to them. TMZ did this report. They were at the
I saw that
Great Jones County Fair, and they wanted to discuss security protocol. They did not want any law enforcement work in security. So, they spit in law enforcement's face big time, and here these guys are. To me, when I think about country music, now I like all music, but when I think about country music, that's what I think about. People think country music's hillbilly hick stuff. Country music is the United States of America, the country's music. That's what, we were kind of born and bred. And I mean, even blues and rock back in the day all that kind of stem from the same thing with a similar mentality. So here we got a country music band spits in the face of law enforcement. And then when the show's over, they call the sheriff up and they ask for
an escort out of town.
Now,
nope.
What they wanted to do probably was run their asses out of town. But, the sheriff told them, let's see. I was trying to see if the sheriff's name was in here because I wanted to give him props.
It was in the one that I read. I don't know if it's in that one.
I don't know if it's here we go. Yeah. Jones County Sheriff Greg Graver. Props to you, my man. He told them to find somebody else. And I don't know if those were the words he used, but he said he would not spend one tax dollar assisting them after being disrespected. Hey, many props to Sheriff Graver. Bam. FGL fans hate it for you. Lost my interest in them real quick, and being a DJ as well as everything else I do, I have to play a lot of music I don't like. And, unless somebody requests their crap, I won't be playing it. So there you have it. All right, what are we running at? We got 2 minutes before commercial break, and I got a ton of stuff to talk about. So I'll tell you what, my stuff's going to take a little bit of time, not too much, but do you have something brief and like a 2-minute span we can knock out for the listeners or any questions? How about you got some Facebook Live people there we can shout out to?
Yeah, we got Phil. Phil says, "What's up, Jack?"
What's up, Mr. Phil? I noticed Phil has become a lot more politically active lately, as well as most of my right-winged, as we'll call them, fans.
That's all we got.
Everybody else is just chiming in, just saying hello with their name on the screen. Okay.
No, they're not saying anything, actually. They need to just.
Well, I said they chimed in with their name on the screen.
Well, I can't see their names because I'm looking at.
Okay.
I'm looking at.
You're looking at
my side of the live.
You're looking
feed.
at the live feed.
There
Okay.
you go.
All right. Well, let me tell you something. You guys, I did just post on the Angry American page. You can call in. We try to limit calls to a couple of minutes so we can keep on track. But I love for you guys to do that. I love when you comment on the live feeds. But I got a couple of minutes. I got a minute and a half. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about this guy because I want to really chew his ass up because he's that way.
Which one is that?
This is the Mr. Khan from the Democratic National Convention, the DNC convention. Do not care. But I'll let you guys think on this one for a minute and tell me. Actually, you know what? I am going to change our commercial break here. Give me just a second. I'm going to back this up because I want to talk about this guy. And we got a little late start. So I'm going to give us 5 minutes. All right. We got 5 more minutes before we go to commercial. Let's talk about this jerkwad. I try to be nice. It's not always easy to not be sleazy. Okay. I got a whole paper full of crap here to talk about the liberal pile-on. Did you notice that at the Republican convention, who did we have show up? We had soldiers show up. We had just
the mother of
great American people show up.
Heroes that had died in Benghazi. The mothers were there.
We had all that stuff. But when we had the
we're gonna go there.
The DNC, we had mothers of thugs there. We had the Black Lives Matter group, which we'll talk about whenever we get to that. But then we had Mr. Khan. And who is he? If you did not see his speech, which I'll have to admit, I did not listen to the guy's speech, but for a few minutes, and it was all I could handle. But now I will say that he had a son, and I believe it was a Marine, if I remember correctly, which, my memory is terrible.
I think you're correct.
Who died in the war.
I said think.
Yeah. Yeah, thinking is not something I always do. I was trying to see if I had his stats because this talks about all the particulars in a legal format. But here's the deal, okay? It's a good time to mention that the only president or presidential candidate, actually, that voted in favor of the Iraq war, can you imagine who that might have been out of all the presidential candidates? That would have been Miss Hillary Flip-Flop Clinton. And I like how some of my Facebook people are starting to use the flip-flop instead of the cricket because she's a flip-flopper if there ever was one. So anyway, Mr. Khan, and I don't know if I'm saying his name right or not, but you know what? It actually fits the guy. because that's exactly what the dude is. He is a con. And, you know, Hillary had a video a while back where she kept saying, and I forget what the issue was, but she kept rhetorically saying, follow the money, follow the money. That's what you need to do with Hillary. This guy's up there. He was not promoting. He said that he sacrificed. Donald Trump didn't sacrifice. Nobody. You didn't sacrifice shit. Your son sacrificed for this country. And for that, I thank him, regardless of his origin or whatever. I think your son, you, sir, are a piece of crap. This guy brings people in. He sets up people to be able to buy their way into this country, buy their way into corporations that are in the United States. His website even notes that he works to help clients with the E2 and EB5 programs. And that basically lets investors buy into United States companies, guys. I mean, when I say investors, I'm talking about non-American investors. And get this, not only can they buy in, but he offers and provides green cards for their family members. Hello, how do you say it? Cha-ching. America pays the bill, and we get stuck in a rear end over it. Okay, but now was that mentioned at any other time? Did you see that? I don't even know if Fox put that on. Did Fox put that on the news?
I heard it somewhere, but I don't remember where I heard.
See, the problem with you and I talking about this stuff is you and I have already talked about
I know
this stuff.
that's what I'm thinking. We've already discussed this 7 times.
It's like, you know, you get on it and you're like, I don't know, I think I already seen it. And I got a guy that just sent me something wanting to know if I'd seen a post about this.
You know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to quit talking during the week. Don't time we're allowed to talk.
Yeah,
I was on the radio.
Had to be like women, put ourselves on restriction, you know, unless we're here, which would be like the Blue Hair Salon. But Mr. Khan, you have the appropriate name, you piece of crap. But I mean, the liberal pylon, everybody from Democrats, liberal media, the Never Trump organization, they talk about Trump, you know, terrible. And then they, you know, have the audacity to scream and defend themselves with a guy like this. I mean, seriously, this is the best you can do. Oh, and let's not forget, for our listening audience pleasure, we have got to talk about Mrs. Trump's pictures when we come back after break. We've got to talk about her. I mean, she's such a terrible looking woman. I mean, it's really hard for me to look at those pictures of her. You know, it's like, I don't know. I'd almost like to look at Michelle Obama more. All right, I'm going to get struck by one of those lightning strikes because that was pretty bad.
You didn't.
You know,
I don't know. I personally don't want to look at either one of them.
Well,
so you know, if you want to look at one or the other, you go.
Tim is trying to keep himself out of the doghouse.
No, that wasn't out of the doghouse. I just, you know, I have to call in sick to work. You talking about being broke? I mean, come on, I'm broke because I had to call in sick to work because I get so nauseated.
Well, Miss Trump is actually. Well, I said we're going to do that after break. We'll do that after.
Well, you wasn't talking about Trump. You was talking about Obama and Clinton, wasn't you?
Well, now Clinton, yeah, her first lady. All right, we got to go to commercial, guys. We'll be right back to you here shortly. Nope, the mics are still hot, and we are still on the air.
Or
Starting back up. supposed to auto load.
Well, you
Well, I backed this up, but all good. Check 2. All right, the mics are live. We gotta stop it. All right, we're back at it. Again, we had technical difficulties. My crap got kicked off auto, so I'm having to manually deal with this. So let me see what you guys are hearing. I'm curious. I'm going to play double. Of course, I'm 30 seconds behind, so I've been told. And we're going to talk about Miss Trump being posted all over the place. All right. I am trying to not shoot this thing, and I do have a Kimber 45 on my hip. And we're getting dinged over there. Somebody messaging in. And my phone's going dead. Imagine that. All right. What is the dealio? We are growing. That's right. That's what they call this, is growing. Go, Scotty!
Gotta show him 3 times, bro. Don't you know? You got to show him 3. You can't just show him 1.
Okay, first off, never hit this button. Never, ever hit that green button.
Hey, yeah. No, don't hit the green button.
And JD will be back in just a few seconds. We are taking him to school. You know the saying, buying books, send them to school. They still don't learn nothing. Oh, man. Okay, all right. Key thing's not to touch. Don't touch that one that says auto. And
I
don't
get
ever
told
hit
not to
that one.
touch stuff way
Just
too damn
lock-
often.
Lock the talk. Look for the words that said talk. Talk.
But it
talk.
wouldn't quit playing your intro music. It was getting on my nerves.
Oh.
I like
It's not going to play your intro music. Excuse me. As long as you got the mic locked down, you're never going to hear the intro music. But if you hear the intro music, then that means.
Your mic ain't locked.
There you go.
See?
smart asses.
Uh-huh.
You know, that's the thing. Hanging around guys that shoot guns.
When I do this, well, quit doing it.
Ah!
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Malik, is her name Malik? I can't. What is Mr. Trump's name? We'll go with Miss Trump. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about the pictures that they were putting up. The left's putting up, and I was really blown away. Did you see where they were posted?
No, I haven't. Not the stuff the left's put up. No.
But they were posted on like all kind of the New York Post and all this, and it was like the only thing that where like her nipples were blocked out was it looked to me like when she had pasties on actually during the photo shoot, not from the New York Post and all the other crap. So it was like they took, they basically put, pornographic material out on the newsstands. I mean, to me, that you would think, there's a problem there. The public would have went crazy. But here's what kills me. One, it was 21 years ago because she's 46 or 45 and she was 21 or something. So anyway, it's roughly 20 years ago. Okay, she's still got an amazing body for being in her 40s, which I know plenty of women that have amazing bodies in their 40s.
My wife.
Intimately, I would say.
My wife.
The beautiful Miss Debbie. But, and there's so many. 40 is a great age for women, to be honest with you. 40 is probably the best number for women because they went through the learning, we'll call it, and they're actually women at 40. They're not kids anymore. So, anyway, they put these pictures up from this lady, beautiful lady from 20-something years ago, and that's supposed to be a deterrent from voting for Trump. Let me see. We've had some ugly women, Hillary Clinton and
did we want to back up?
Michelle.
20 years on some of the Clintons.
Yeah, actually, Hillary, I will say this. Hillary back in her 20s was ugly. But Hillary has always been Hillary, and she's always pretty much looked the same. She's aged appropriately. Let me just say that. She has not gotten any better. She didn't age gracefully. She's aged appropriately. But this woman was 20 years ago. She still looks gorgeous. And that's the best thing they got to slander the guy with. He's got a gorgeous wife who happened to have a successful modeling career. Oh, and if you really want to piss people off, you saw the post that I had on occupying the Democrats.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. If my friends out there that are Democrats, I feel for you, just be open and honest with yourself and learn some things. But you right wingers, if you really want to have some fun, get on Occupy Democrats because man, you can send people into a tizzy in a hurry.
Look, I don't want to get my numbers wrong. I told you my wife still has a hot body but she just texted me and said, I'm not 40. She's 38. Okay.
Well, but you're an old man. You're an old man.
Well, hey, I
you got to play that card.
Can I? Well, no, she said she's not 40.
Right.
She's not. She's 38.
Right. But you can play the card that you're old.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Unless she's older than you.
No, she's not.
Okay. So, see, you got a safe bet then. You can play that card. Mm-hmm. I always say my memory went with my hair. And for those that can't see, I'm bald. So go figure. But back to Miss Trump. Again, the best thing they can slander Trump with is that he's got a wife with a rocking body. Seriously?
They're going to do anything that they can to get the attention off of them. Period.
Oh, I've got Alan Landry joined from Oath Keepers. What's going on, man? I don't know if you're still on with us because we had some technical difficulties. Okay, I screwed up, hit the wrong button. I'll be a huckleberry. I did it, so I'll take credit for it.
I was still gonna blame it on the storms.
No, I'll tell you. Hey, you know what? I'm a Republican. I can man up. I don't have to. Go back and blame it on somebody else.
It's legal to lie. I don't care.
Oh yeah,
Hillary does it all the time.
And
it's legal.
Having oral from a girl is not cheating on your
sex.
That's not sex, and that's not cheating on your wife.
I mean,
look at the laws. Look at how the Clintons have changed morality.
It all depends on the definition of the word is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a total gambit. I mean, there is nothing Hillary Clinton or Clinton related that is not corrupt. I mean, it's not. There. You look at all the people. Here's something. If you guys have not seen this, and it takes, I think it's an hour and a half or whatever. Watch Clinton Cash. Go watch that video, and it tells you. And look up Bill's friends of Bill, or something like that. All the people that have come up.
Bill list.
Yeah, the MIA and dead because they were going to talk about the Clintons.
We won't go there because that was one of the things I talked to Jack a little bit before we got here and told him, I said, man, I've been listening to talk radio on the way here today.
But we're talk radio.
The other talk radio.
Oh, okay. The other guys.
The other guys. Yeah. The competitors, I said, I'm driving, I'm going to listen. So I did. And that's something that I'll get on a tangent about if you don't watch it. But, I don't even remember where I was going now, but they refuse to support him, even though he's become.
Here's the thing: I've got people asking where her pictures are posted. They're all over Facebook. I don't know that I shared the article, but yeah, they're just pull her name up. You'll probably find her. I can't tell you exactly where to find her, but we got a late start, so we're gonna go a little past the 8 o'clock hour. Hope you guys are okay with that. You're listening in. Here's something I want to talk about today, and Tim, I brought this up to you. In New York City, they had a big BLM thing, and had the chief of police resigned. And they wanted him fired because of all the corruption and everything.
What corruption?
But the interesting thing is a couple of things. They asked a girl, she had a sign, and everybody has a Black Lives Matter sign, but she had one that said, "White lives matter too much." Now, if you're trying to promote something, that's one thing. So the guy, and I don't remember his name from The Blaze, went up on one of those other shows. They might have a listener or two more than I do. I'm not sure, but they might. But he went up to her and said, "Do you mind if I talk to you?" And she was very cordial, believe it or not. She was kind of deer in the headlights look at first.
Which tells me she was misinformed or uninformed rather than
that's the key thing. She is very misinformed. She was actually and this is the thing about a lot of people with Black Lives Matter, whether they're black or white, they're misinformed. And she went on to say, and she was really having a tough time articulating what she was thinking about, but she finally got it out. And she said that when you have lives that don't matter enough, you have lives that matter too much, is what she was trying to say.
No.
So with that thought process, right away, that she's misinformed. So her and another gentleman that was interviewed, they wanted to be paid for the slave days. And I was thinking, really? I mean, here's the thing. So let me just touch on, and a lot of you guys give me, props, and I appreciate it for throwing some facts out, but I'm going to throw some smart facts. Excuse me. And the funny thing about these smart facts is this is off a Smart Facts for Kids website. Okay. So this is not, highly, this is not college crap.
So this is not a real high IQ level.
Yeah, it's basic stuff. It's honesty is what it is. So here's some facts, and she wanted to be paid. All the blacks she felt was entitled to getting paid for slave days, which, let's face it, hundreds of years ago, none of these people were slaves. They probably don't know or have relatives or whatever. That's really irrelevant. I don't even want to go there. But what they don't understand is, okay, and these are facts, okay? And I had to print these up. I got a couple of funny facts here. And I say funny because it's so ironic that nobody talks about these facts. They talk about slavery. At the peak of black slavery in the South, how many whites you think owned slaves? At the peak, the highest point of slavery in the South.
I have no idea.
The highest point, 6%.
6%.
6%. Now, if you calculate in the North, which a lot of people don't want to do, they say only the slaves only the South had slaves, which first off is wrong answer. Incorrect. So you calculate the north end, which obviously should be calculated in. That brings it down to 1.4% of Americans back in the day had slaves. Let's face it. If me and you were farmers, we couldn't afford slaves.
Nope.
You had to pay for them. All right. So get this: out of all the people that had slaves, how many blacks do you think owned slaves back in slave days?
Oh, probably more than whites.
Okay. I don't know what the percentage, because it doesn't give me, and I didn't look this up, but it's 3,000 blacks on a total of 20,000 slaves in the year 1860. That's a little funny fact the Democrats forget to mention. Also, I got to say, Hillary, said the young blacks were, what did she call them? Other than criminals, I forget what she called them. Predators. Yeah,
Well,
young black predators.
When you go back to when the slaves were sold in Africa, who sold them?
Well, that's a funny thing. And the thing about it is, when you talk about slaves and stuff, the African country of Benin, recently, the president of that country apologized to blacks in that country for the fact that they sold their own people.
They sold their own
So it's not everything. The thing that kills me is there's so much about history that gets ignored, and this is not a history lesson, but Arab, for example, the word in Arabic means slave. It also means black. So when you talk about Arab, so that's just one fun fact. I'm going to knock out a couple of fun facts, and I got to put some sex twist in the mix here for the lady listeners. Real quick.
I think I'm going to leave when he starts that.
No, you can handle it. I'll tell Brandy that you had no info.
No, yeah, okay. You just got me in trouble.
Okay, here's one for you. There were no white slaves in America. That's the myth. All right.
Wrong.
Textbooks are silent about that. But get this. There were so many whites brought over for colonies that were slaves that it was unreal. In fact, they predict that the amount of white slaves that died on the boats coming here were more than the amount of black slaves that died on their way over. Just a little smart fact for you there. We'll skip all that. Let me see if I got another one that really doesn't make sense that people skip over. Oh, here we go. Now, my grandfather actually did this, and he did tell me it was a bad thing. He didn't like doing it at all. Picking cotton is the worst job possible. That's the myth. That's how bad it was. All right. No. Farm work really is relatively safe. If you're a lumberjack or a crab fisherman or a coal miner or even a cab driver, that's worse than picking cotton. I mean, does it tear your fingers up? Yeah, but it is not that bad. And what's funny, where the term redneck, when it originated? In the picking cotton days. Now, who got the redneck?
Oh, the white man.
Yeah, I mean, they were out there picking right along with it. So, I mean, you guys can go. I don't remember this guy's website, but you can go and look this up. And here's one for you. This one is something that really should wake you up and get you guys thinking, because this is something that's happening right now that people tend to ignore. Everybody thinks slavery ended with a Civil War. And this thing goes, I got hundreds of facts on here, but it didn't end with a Civil War. Did you know that today, by the federal statistics, 50,000 people are brought into the United States? They don't call it slaves anymore. They call it human trafficking.
Yep.
Okay. They're used for, cheap labor. They're used in whorehouses, you name it. I mean, there's a line somewhere over Texas, and I think going, northwest from there, that is the slave trade alley. I mean, these guys are being trucked in to be used as slaves. That information is Jim Goad, the Redneck Manifesto. Appropriate named, I guess. But all right, so I told you ladies Dr. Love was going to be with us today. And he is. He's sitting right to my right. I don't know if you guys heard me a while ago. I said 17 weeks till Christmas, I think, is what it is for you guys that keep up with that. I try to post that and let you guys know so that when Christmas comes, I have a whole lot of Christmas presents. Here's some weird sex facts. I don't know why they're weird, because I thought some of them were actually pretty cool. I put notes down. Hillary lies. Imagine that.
No.
Oh, the topic that I was going to start the show off with that somebody actually asked me about.
Well,
the Social Security Administration.
What about?
Oh my God. Did you see that? 6.5 million people are registered with a Social Security card still issued with their name on it.
that are over 112 years old.
Over 112. We got some old folks out there, over 112 years old. But guess what the catch is? They're dead.
No.
So, you know, and here's what's even more disturbing than that is they're probably Democrats, okay?
I bet they're registered to vote.
They're probably registered to vote. And all that money that's going out, there's still checks being issued.
Oh, yeah.
Social Security Administration admits checks are being issued to a lot of those names, but they quoted tens of thousands of these numbers are currently being used to report wages to the Social Security Administration and to the IRS. That's a lot of stuff, dude. I mean, that is crazy.
You think?
But here's the bigger kick. In the interview, they said that they didn't have the resources to fix it. There were more important things to deal with.
Okay, so if we stopped all of those checks, would that not supply enough money to fix it?
Only a logical man would come up with something like that.
I'm sorry.
And you know, that's a liberal run, you know. And here's the thing, they've got an E-Verify system.
Abolish the IRS.
You know, the IRS, fair tax is where it's at.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We'll talk about that next show.
All right.
But yeah, I had to mention that we have got some folks out there, 112 years old.
Absolutely. Well, here's your fun fact. My dad told me the other day, said when he passed his own, said just bury him in the backyard, keep getting that check. But see, here's the fun fact about that. He didn't even get Social Security. He retired from the railroad.
Oh, my gosh. All right, here's a fun fact to piss you women off out there. The number one fun fact, and I don't even know why this is number one. I didn't put this list together. This is actually number one. Women are more willing to commit adultery during their ovulation, however you want to say it, than any other time throughout their cycle, most notably due to their body's desire to fertilize the egg. And in layman's terms, that means she's horny.
All I can say is that sounds like some shit come up by a dang Democrat.
That just means she's horny. Okay, I'm just telling you.
That sounds like something that a liberal come up with.
Well, here's one that I think I find this to be pretty true. Most women who lose their virginity are between the ages of 15 and 19. Think about it. Late high school, early college. Now, here's one I disagree with. It says that if they don't lose their virginity by 24, they stay a virgin.
Forever?
Forever and ever and ever. Bullshit.
I'm going to tell you now.
And I'm not just picking on women. That's just the way this went down. Let me look. I don't want to read all these to you because I'll save some for other. Okay, guys always want to know, how do they know? And you should know when your woman's, having the pleasure time and orgasm and all that kind of stuff. And I know this is really off topic, but I had some ladies that said they wanted to know something. Weird sex fact.
No, that's not what I'm laughing at. You want to read the text?
No, probably not. All right, guys, you want to know when your woman is getting it on, about to have a good time, and the juices are flowing. During intercourse, your inner nose swells just as your breast and genitals will. So, periscoper knows, and but that's kind of like a wild animal. I mean, their noses flare up when they're having a good time, right?
My nose flares up when I'm having a good time.
Well, usually, when they're kicking and screaming, their noses flare up too. So,
Generally, it's because I'm breathing hard and trying to move more oxygen.
All right, that one's so disgustingly dirty. I can't read that one. Oh, now here's one. Women, you need to wake up, okay? We always talk about, how much calories are burning off. For men, sex burns between 100 and 200 calories. Okay, for the average man.
That just falls right in with my new diet.
But on the other hand, for women, it only burns, ironically, 69 calories.
They need to get more busy.
That's what I'm talking about, women. You need to wake it up out there.
Come on now.
I mean, you women keep talking about, you wanted to have a little sex talk, so I'm throwing this in there. Now, here's an interesting sex fact you might want to know. I'm a 50-year-old man. I got checked a few years ago. Actually, not even a few years ago. But according to this, I have enough sperm to impregnate every woman in America that is impregnatable. So women, if you're worried about your man, don't worry about it. Go get yourself checked. Men are perfect. Okay? Wake up out there, women.
I don't even know what to say.
I was waiting for the ball to drop or lightning to strike on that one.
I was just at a loss for words there.
Yeah, you look like a deer in the headlights.
See,
Yeah.
I'm glad I got that camera to my back.
Yeah.
And by the way, the text over here
Yeah.
he was talking about that they're only horny during their ovulation time.
No, I didn't say they were only.
That's right.
I said they were more likely.
More likely.
Yeah. So get your facts straight.
That's not what I got the text that said bullshit.
Okay.
I'm horny all the time.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's a good woman. All right, here's something for you guys that are worried about your cholesterol. Get it fixed. It is proven lower cholesterol equals a better sex life. End of story. Okay, simple as that. Now, here's one that I totally agree with. Okay, and it's an answer for all the men that don't know what's going on.
There's a lot of those.
Especially the younger ones. You know, women, if you really want to get your world rocked, get with an older man. There's no doubt about it. But if your woman's having a problem, it might be due to low blood sugar. So feed her some chocolates. That's the true myth. You know, dark chocolate is the way to go. Raise their blood sugar up. There you go. That one's a waste of time. Let me find something here that's kind of funny because these are supposed to be funny.
I think I'll call BS on that one as well.
No, it's true. It's been proven. Dark chocolate is All right, for you guys out there that want to have a threesome, and I know there's a boatload of you out there, go to Australia because Australia's got the highest rate. 28% of the population admits to have done a threesome at least once. All right, now here's a fun fact that's for you guys out there that are wondering what kind of relationship you got going on. Only 5% of the population have sex once a day. 5%, wow. 20% have sex 3 to 4 times a week. The rest of the population's unknown.
It's been so long they forgot.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, 3 to 4 times a week should be like a given, in my book.
Been so long I forgot.
And I'm probably got the Facebook live feed. I'm getting questions over here. I can check that out.
I hadn't even been looking here. Well, mine's off.
All right, here's something that women really pay attention to. I've noticed 60% of the women, or 60% of the men rather, that get aroused have erect nipples, and I've had women tell me things about that, and we'll just leave that at that.
I'm not getting the questions on the Facebook live, so you're just gonna have to answer them yourself.
Let's see. Well, actually, it might be just my Facebook questions that are popping up. I got 2 phones going. I can't keep up. All right, so there's a couple of crazy sex facts. I got tons of them. Now here's one. When I've read this earlier, I kind of laughed at. All right, bear with me, guys and gals. Masturbation is known to help cure depression as the release of emotions and hormones when orgasm is reached to put your mind at ease and make you more comfortable with your own body. Let me tell you something. I'm going to call BS on that one.
Okay.
Because, no matter how much masturbation might feel good, if you ain't getting laid, you're still going to be one depressed man.
Yeah, but it might decrease.
And I don't know. I keep getting these messages. It's kind of hard to read all this stuff.
It may decrease depression for just a few seconds, there, but then it makes it worse because you go, God.
Oh, and the funny thing, there was what was it? Oh yeah, on average for a woman masturbating, it takes 4 minutes for her to climax by herself. 4 minutes. On average, with a partner, with a man, they said actually it takes 20 minutes. Okay, guys, here's the thing. Have you ever videotaped yourself and watched all the weird ass faces you make when you're having sex? And she's looking at that, and you wonder why it's taking her so long to have an orgasm.
Stop making the damn stupid faces.
Oh my gosh. All right. We have run way over.
It's all good. Keep going.
15 minutes. And I don't know.
No, we didn't start till 20 after.
Yeah, well,
all the darn lightning storm technical difficulties.
All right. I'll tell you what. First off, I want to thank you guys so much. I've had so many people on here say that they're enjoying the show, and I know it's been a crazy technical difficulty, kind of what the heck's going on kind of thing. But thanks for the compliments, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for you guys that are joining in. Golly, I got messages like crazy and low batteries. Let me grab this.
I got low batteries on everything, man.
If you would buy her something to plug into the wall,
No, it's gasoline powered.
Oh, okay. Brett Gash from Salt Lake City, Utah. What's up, my brother? And thank you so much for your service. Ken asked where the pictures were posted. You just have to look around. Let's see. So here joined lately, Pedro. Man, I hadn't heard from you in a while. Thanks for the props. Appreciate it. Courtney. Let's see. Scrolling down. Wendy. She has had some comments blow up. And you guys can PM me. That's fine. I would prefer that if you jumped on the post that we have and make comments. But I understand you got to worry about your employers and stuff. So that's cool.
What's up with it? Like that? Nobody even called. Are they scared?
You know what? I think I should have probably mentioned that a little more often. You're right. I put the phone number out there. Vicky and Thomas and Brian, thanks so much. Vicky said she enjoyed it. Thanks for the laughs. I don't know if she's talking about the factual information on the sexual statistics, and I picked out the ones that I thought I could get away with on air. Some of them were pretty much stretching out there a little bit on the deep end,
Just because I don't want everybody to think I'm lying. Read the last text message there.
All right, chocolate is the answer. That's all I'm going to say, and I'm not talking about the black meat, which, hey, for some people that's the answer for them, but for this young lady, she's talking about chocolate Hershey's style. I'm trying to dig my way out of that hole, man, and I am doing like shitty with it. Speaking of the Hershey Highway, you had to go there.
Just
oh man,
God, turn that live feed, do something with it. It's looking at the ceiling.
All right,
gosh.
All right, we're back.
All right.
Oh, another ding went off.
Ding along.
Is it a question or is it just somebody saying hello? I don't even know.
Well, let's see. Amy said better than Howard Stern.
Did you watch Howard in his younger years?
Very little.
Let me tell you, Howard did some of the grossest crap.
He was raw, man.
Well, he was raw, and he had the whole shock jock thing, and I'm not about that. I mean, I'm about sometimes you may see energetic, crazy, nutty, and then sometimes serious, but I'm just about whatever's going on at the moment. But Howard did stuff where he had people coming in and sucking milk up their nose, blowing it out their eyeballs, and of course his ever popular fart man, which lost him what was he hosting, the Emmys or something? I don't remember. He got kicked off of that. So he was the whole shocker jocker kind of thing. But, all right, I got to follow up my girl, Tomei. Here's the thing. And I do have some people out there that I wouldn't have known they were Muslim if they didn't tell me. One of them's on my Facebook feed all the time. And, apparently that religion, as they call it, and you've heard, I won't deny the fact I've called it a cult more than once, but, there's 1.6 billion Muslims. Okay, but only a few radicals. Well, what's the problem, guys? Put a cap on it.
That's,
I mean, we got the crazy Christians that go do stupid stuff. We don't own those people. We disown those people. So, that's what you need to do. They need to stand up, stand up for what you believe in. I got a thing here. I got to share. We're talking about women and facts. So women all over the world are getting engaged and married. And you know what I'm getting? Fat. I'm just getting fat.
Eating too much chocolate, trying to get laid.
You're supposed to eat chocolate by the bar, not the brick.
Yeah.
Come on, give it a rest. Man, everybody's blowing up on the con man, and that's what the guy needs to be called. What a piece of crap. I don't want to digress and talk about that, but we did say that there was something that we mentioned a minute ago, and I said we'll talk about it next go around. Now I forget what it is. But here's the thing about Hillary, for example. Going back to, and we have to go back to her because it's election time. Everything that she has said, we talked about earlier. Was it Comey, right? Is that how he says his name?
James Comey. Yes.
Yeah. And Tim Gowdy asked him point blank, did Hillary lie about this? Yes.
Trey Gowdy.
What did I say? Oh, that's because you're sitting.
That's what. Quit looking at me and talk.
Trey Gowdy, my man. Flat out ask. And then they showed Hillary and they said, well, did you lie about this? And I forget who did the interview. And she said, no, I didn't. And then they showed the FBI guy. Yes. And I'm like, come on. I mean, I said it last week. If there was a decent Democrat for this country, I would probably vote. But you know what? There's not one. So there you have it. But do get out and vote. Don't sit on your butts and complain. Do something about it. Your vote does count. I told you guys that time and time again. I mean, Sheriff Clark, one of my favorite, probably my top dude. I mean, Carson and those guys are good, but Sheriff Clark speaks out, and
he don't hold back.
And I mean, he's as black as a black man can get. I guess you could be darker, but he tells the truth, and people should listen to him. And what's the movie producer guy? He's a Indian or Muslim descent. Dinesh
D'Souza.
There you go. He did a movie recently and pretty much debunked.
Which one?
Yeah, I mean the last one, and he actually
Hillary's America.
Yeah, and he interviewed a couple of black radio talk show hosts, and they were right there, right with him. And it's a matter of education, guys and gals, and that's what I try to tell you. Go get educated. Don't listen to the mainstream media because they're owned by 6 families, and I thought I had that printed with me. I don't, but they're all connected one way or another. I've posted it on my Facebook. I couldn't find it, and you guys on YouTube see me scrolling looking for it, but I got so many posts I can't find it. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for us. And go read an email or two, and let us know what you think. When you can, hit us up on the Angry American page. If you're not a friend on there, just look us up. It is a public page. Be glad to add you guys. We got several admins on there. And as long as you're a real American, and we even let some left-wing people on there for kicks.
Just occasionally.
Yeah, they got.
While you're punching pages, Striker Firearms Training, like and share that page too.
Yeah, go out there, and there's other training companies out there. It's just the best damn one that we work for.
You're dang right.
So that's going to wrap up the show. I think we made up for our shortcomings on the front end with the. We
don't want to talk about shortcomings.
Yeah, shortcomings and sex at the end of the show. How much better could it get?
That's the thing. My wife's at the house eating chocolate.
Yeah, buddy. Come on, get you some of that now. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in to Angry American. And I'm Highway Jack with a guest sitting in, Tim Tenney from Striker Firearms Training. And we're going to tell you this. God bless you. And God bless America, baby.